Before you book a hotel in Lisbon, you need to understand one thing. The neighborhood you choose can make your trip feel either smooth and comfortable or much more tiring than expected. Lisbon, Portugal is full of hills, nightlife streets, elegant boulevards, historic neighborhoods, river views, and busy tourist zones, so where you stay can completely change your experience. In this Lisbon travel guide, I did not choose Alfama, Baixa, or Chiado, even though they are some of the most popular areas in the city, and later in this video, I will explain exactly why Avenida da Liberdade worked better for my trip. Choosing where to stay in Lisbon is not only about finding a nice room or a good hotel deal. It is about how your days actually feel once you leave your hotel in the morning and return after a long day of sightseeing. Some areas are beautiful but steep, some are central but crowded, some are fun at night but noisy, and some are elegant but more expensive. If you choose the wrong base, you may waste energy climbing hills, carrying luggage, waiting for taxis, searching for parking, or sleeping too close to nightlife. But if you choose the right area, your Lisbon travel experience becomes smoother, calmer, and much more enjoyable from the first morning. Baixa is probably the easiest and most practical area to stay in Lisbon, Portugal for first-time visitors. It is flat, central, organized, and very simple to understand compared to many other parts of the city. From Baixa, you can walk to Praça do Comércio, Rossio, Santa Justa Elevator, Chiado, and even parts of Alfama without complicated planning. If you want to visit Lisbon for a short trip and stay close to many classic attractions, Baixa makes a lot of sense. You will also find many hotels in Lisbon here, from boutique properties to international-style city hotels. The biggest advantage is convenience, especially if this is your first time in the city. But when I walked around Baixa, I also felt that some streets were more tourist-focused than atmospheric. So for me, Baixa is one of the best places to stay in Lisbon for convenience, but not necessarily the most memorable or characterful choice. Rossio is another very smart area if you want a central and connected base in Lisbon. You are close to Rossio Square, Baixa, Restauradores, Chiado, and many of the main walking routes through the old city. Rossio is also very useful if you plan to take the train to Sintra, which is one of the most popular day trips from Lisbon. For first-time visitors who want transport, sightseeing, restaurants, city energy, and easy access to many of the best things to do in Lisbon, Rossio is a strong option. I would choose Rossio for practicality and access, but not if I wanted a quiet, polished, or boutique neighborhood feeling. Chiado and Bairro Alto are two of the most attractive areas for travelers who want restaurants, cafes, shopping, culture, and nightlife close by. Chiado feels stylish, elegant, and polished, with beautiful streets, historic cafes, boutique shops, and easy access to Baixa and Bairro Alto. Bairro Alto is different because it has a stronger nightlife personality, especially in the evening when the narrow streets become much more active. If you like going out for dinner, drinks, and evening walks, this area can be very appealing. But if you are traveling with family, renting a car, or you want quiet sleep, you need to be very careful with the exact street. Personally, I would choose Chiado over Bairro Alto because it gives you style and central location without placing you directly inside the loudest nightlife zone. For me, Chiado is one of the best areas to stay in Lisbon for an upscale city feeling, while Bairro Alto is better for nightlife lovers than calm travelers. Alfama is the most cinematic and emotional area of Lisbon, Portugal. This is the Lisbon many people imagine before they arrive, with narrow streets, tiled buildings, old stairways, viewpoints, traditional restaurants, and tram scenes. If you want to wake up inside a historic postcard, Alfama can feel magical. It is romantic, photogenic, and full of character, especially if you enjoy slow walks and getting lost in old streets. When I walked around Alfama, I loved the atmosphere, but I also immediately understood why staying there with luggage or a rental car could become stressful. The same hills and narrow streets that make it beautiful can also make it difficult with children, mobility issues, or heavy bags. In some places, taxis or rideshare cars may not stop directly in front of your accommodation, which is something many visitors do not think about before booking. So for me, Alfama is perfect for romance and atmosphere, but not the easiest base for a comfortable first trip. Cais do Sodré is one of the most energetic and convenient areas in Lisbon. You have Time Out Market, Pink Street, the riverfront, ferries, trains, metro access, bars, restaurants, and nightlife all very close together. When I walked around this area, I understood why younger travelers and food lovers enjoy it so much. But the same energy that makes Cais do Sodré exciting can also make it noisy and less relaxing at night. I think Cais do Sodré is great for nightlife, food and transport, but it would not be my first choice for families or travelers looking for a calmer, more premium stay. Avenida da Liberdade is one of the most elegant and comfortable areas to stay in Lisbon, Portugal. The wide boulevard, designer shops, tree-lined pavements, calmer atmosphere, and many Lisbon luxury hotels give it a more premium European city feeling. It does not feel as old and traditional as Alfama, but it feels more spacious, organized, safe, and comfortable. You are still close enough to walk or take a short ride to Baixa, Rossio, Chiado, and many central attractions. After long sightseeing days, coming back to a calmer and more polished area made Lisbon feel easier and more comfortable. For my travel style, Avenida da Liberdade gave me one of the best balances between comfort, location, safety, hotel quality, parking, and easy access to central Lisbon. Belém is one of the most beautiful and historic areas of Lisbon, but I see it more as a place to visit than a place to stay for a first trip. You have Jerónimos Monastery, Belém Tower, museums, the riverfront, and the famous Pastéis de Belém nearby. The area feels calmer, wider, and less intense than the old center, which some travelers may really enjoy. But if your main goal is to explore central Lisbon every day, Belém can feel a little too far from Baixa, Chiado, Alfama, Bairro Alto, and Rossio. I would stay in Belém only if I had already visited Lisbon before, wanted a slower cultural trip, or found a very special hotel experience there. I personally chose Avenida da Liberdade because I had a rental car, and finding a quality hotel with proper parking was very important for me. I stayed at 138 Liberdade Hotel with my family, and for 3 people, we paid around €300 per night for the room, not per person, which felt expensive at first, but reasonable for the location. Comfort, parking convenience, safety, and overall quality. I also liked that the area felt elegant and reliable, while still allowing me to walk to many important parts of Lisbon or reach them with a very short ride. Now let's talk about the part that can surprise many visitors when they travel to Lisbon. How much you should actually expect to pay for accommodation in Lisbon, Portugal. And this is where many travelers make a mistake. They compare hotel prices without comparing the neighborhood experience. Lisbon budget stays such as hostels, simple guest houses, or very basic rooms can sometimes start around 40 to 80 euros per night. But these usually come with compromises in location, comfort, privacy, or hotel quality. Lisbon mid-range hotels are often around 150 to 250 euros per night for a double room, especially if you want a clean, comfortable, and central stay. In very popular areas like Baixa, Rossio, and Chiado, prices can climb quickly because demand is strong and the location is extremely convenient. Alfama can be cheaper in some apartments or guest houses, but charming boutique stays with views or renovated interiors can still become expensive. Cais do Sodré can also be mid-range to expensive because of its nightlife, food scene, transport links, and popularity with younger travelers. Avenida da Liberdade is usually one of the more premium areas, and my own stay at 138 Liberdade Hotel cost around 300 euros per night for 3 people. Belém can sometimes offer better value, but you need to remember that saving money there may also mean spending more time getting in and out of the historic center. My honest opinion is that there is no single perfect area for everyone in Lisbon. If it is your first time and you want the easiest base, Baixa or Rossio are very practical choices. If you want style, restaurants, shopping, and a more elegant city feeling, Chiado is one of the strongest options. If you want atmosphere and romance, Alfama is beautiful, but you need to accept the hills, narrow streets, and practical challenges. If you want food, nightlife, and transport, Cais do Sodré can work very well, but it may not give you the calmest stay. But if you want comfort, safety, parking, hotel quality, and central access without sleeping inside the busiest tourist streets, Avenida da Liberdade is the area I would personally choose again. So this was my honest guide to where to stay in Lisbon, based on my own experience and how the city actually feels as a visitor. If this video helped you, please like it, subscribe to Alp Galip Travels, and write in the comments which Lisbon area you would choose for your trip. And if you are planning a Portugal trip, don't forget to watch my full Portugal series on Alp Galip Travels, including Lisbon, Sintra, Cascais, Porto, Algarve, Benagil Cave, and more travel guides coming soon.